Did you know, and you probably do if you've been paying attention to the news, it's been all over the mainstream media. It's not showing up on Fox News. It's not showing up on conservative media, interestingly. But 40% of the mail-in ballot requests in Houston, a city with a sizable black and Hispanic population, and a lot of Democrats, 40% have been turned down. It's actually 38% is the exact number. 2.4 million voters, 38% of the people who are applying for mail-in ballots are being told, no, sorry. Because, see, you got to have this number. Now, yesterday when I was talking about this, I said I believed that the number was randomly generated. Turns out I was wrong. The number is either the last 4 digits of your social or it's your driver's license number. But here's the catch. When you register to vote, you have to give one of those 2 numbers. When you vote now, you have to remember which number you gave them, and write it down correctly on your ballot or on your application for a mail-in ballot. And if you fail to do that, or on your mail-in ballot when you send it in, when you send in your vote, if you fail to get it right, your vote doesn't get counted. So, you know, one of the more famous stories, the one that I heard last night on TV, was that there was this woman who's been voting in Dallas or in Houston or in Texas, I don't recall the city, frankly, for over 40 years. And when she registered to vote, she gave them her driver's license number, and they wrote it down, but her driver's license number has changed. She still has a driver's license in Texas, but it's not the same number. I mean, have you ever had your driver's license renewed? Sometimes they give you a new number, particularly if you move out of state or you move from city to city or whatever. I mean, if there's any significant change, you might get a whole new driver's license number. So when she put down her driver's license number, knowing that she had used her driver's license number 40 years earlier when she registered, they threw out her vote. Said, sorry, wrong number. It's amazing. They also have, in addition to this, they have these new ID requirements. They put a ban on drive-through voting, which was very popular during the pandemic. Might not be such a big deal as, you know, the hysteria, and I don't mean that in the pejorative sense. The concern, shall we say, around COVID is diminishing over time. I'm guessing that you're actually going to see people show up to vote by November, unless a new evil variant comes along. You'll recall last summer we were, you know, the Biden administration in July came out and, hey, it's COVID Freedom Day. And then, bang, Omicron hit us in what, August, September? And it was, you know, back hiding under the tables again. So we'll see. But a ban on drive-through voting, and they're limiting the individual counties. Say you're in a county that has seen population growth. You want to add more machines? You want to add places to vote? Not going to happen. Texas also only allows mail-in voting. Now the one area where this gets really interesting is, you know, the over 65 crowd is strongly Republican. Always, you know, largely always has been. Winston Churchill once made a joke about as you get older and wealthier, you become more conservative, and there's some truth to that. And so when I first looked at what Texas was doing to make it almost impossible to do a mail-in vote, I thought, you know, they're going to screw themselves. They got all these older voters, particularly in the rural areas, who vote by mail. And, you know, you're going to exclude them? Well, they've waived all this nonsense for people over 65. If you're on Social Security or Medicare in Texas, you can still vote by mail, no problem. They make it easy for you. So here we go, right? Here we go. As the Texas Tribune explained, if you have a defective ballot, if you can't remember your magic number, and they tell you that in time for you to do something about it, which is another big variable, you must visit an elections office in person to correct the issue. This is what it says in the Texas Tribune. And then they go on to say, obviously the main concern is that people that receive ballots by mail may not have the ability to come to the clerk's office. After all, the people who are requesting mail-in ballots may be disabled, they may be elderly, they may be immune compromised and they're not willing to expose themselves to COVID. They may have disabilities. This Senate Bill 1 is the name of this law, this Texas law. The Brennan Center for Justice says that 19 states now, last year, 19 states passed 34 laws restricting ballot access. We are now in the second month of this year, and so far, 250 pieces of legislation have been introduced or pre-filed in 27 states to limit Americans' right to vote. We need a Elections Canada kind of system. We need a national system that is completely nonpartisan, cannot be partisanly manipulated, that is just there to make it easy for everybody to vote. And frankly, I think we need national mail-in voting. We've had it for over 20 years here in Oregon, and it is wonderful. You're automatically registered to vote when you get your driver's license or pretty much anything else that has to do with the government. It comes in the mail a few weeks before the election. You have plenty of time to fill it out. It's easy.